Hello my dear students, very good afternoon. Welcome back to our daily news analysis. We shall discuss the Hindu dated January 5. I take it for granted that you all have read the newspapers and are ready for the show. I shall give you a few objective multiple choice questions in between the show to engage you, but the real purpose of the program is not giving you a few questions which even otherwise I give. The real purpose is to encourage all of you to read more, because I am very sure that this newspaper reading is going to transform you like anything. If you can spend a good quality 2 hours in front of the newspapers and read, that will change you beyond recognition. So your connect with the world will improve, your language will improve, which will definitely help you clear the exams too. I request all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, encourage us, give your positive comments against the programs. Please like our Facebook page and other social media channels. That will be a great encouragement to my team and I myself. I expect and I look forward to encouragement from your side. So I am going to start. So let us begin. The Hindu January 5. 7th round of talks with farm unions ends in stalemate. We know that the farmers mainly from Punjab, Haryana are blocking the roads to Delhi. They have been striking for the past 38-39 days. They have not succumbed to the cold winter conditions of Delhi. They have been striking for what they think are their rights. They are striking against 3 laws that were recently passed by the government. The government came with 3 ordinances in the month of June at the peak of COVID lockdown. Then later on, government converted those ordinances into laws by parliament. Government got it passed in September. Farmers Union believed that they were not properly consulted before the laws were passed and their concerns were not properly addressed. They believe that APMCs or mandis, where their produce are purchased at a reasonable price, will be closed with the enactment of the law. They believe that the enactment of the law will lead to corporate farming, a farming meant not for agriculture but farmers, but meant for corporates. They believe that the minimum support price will be a thing of the past if the laws are implemented. The negotiations have been going on with the farmers. The government is trying its best to engage them and to convince them that the laws would be for their ultimate benefits, but it looks as if they are not convinced. Biggest COVID-19 vaccination program is set to begin, says the Prime Minister. Yes, this is the farmers negotiations. Negotiations are taking place in Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi, with the government. Both parties stuck to their guns. Farmers unions say that there cannot be any Ghar Wapasi. They will not go back to their homes if all the 3 laws are not repealed. But the government says that they are convinced, the government is convinced that the laws are for the benefit of the farmers and they cannot be repealed. So where will we have a meeting point? The Farmers Union will meet the government again on January 8 for further consultations. Hopefully a good solution will evolve. Let us wait. The biggest COVID vaccination program set to begin, says Prime Minister. World's biggest inoculation drive against COVID-19 is set to begin in this country. Prime Minister says, a day after India's drug regulator, the Drug Controller General of India, approved 2 vaccines for restricted emergency use, lauding scientists and technicians for the Made in India vaccine. We know that Bharat Biotech, in collaboration with ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, developed a fully Indian made, designed and developed and manufactured in India Covaxin. So it is a fully Indian made vaccine. And another company, Serum Institute of Pune, they are producing vaccination in collaboration with Oxford University and AstraZeneca, that is called Covishield. So both vaccine candidates are given permission by the Drug Controller General of India. So the vaccination drive is to begin soon. India has enviable record in conducting successful vaccination. We have been providing universal vaccination on 4 diseases. So we have got immense experience which other countries can only envy. But the challenge here is that this vaccination has to be completed in a very short span of time. So that makes it a challenging position, and there are certain suspicions aired from different corners of the society. So it is going to be a major challenge, but the government hopefully will implement it very successfully. Let us hope so. Repeal law permitting seizure of livestock, says Supreme Court. The government came out with a law that would permit the government, which allowed the government seizure and subsequent confiscation of livestock. This was the law: seizure and subsequent confiscation of livestock from people who depended on these animals for a livelihood, even before they were found guilty of cruelty towards them. If anybody is charged of cruelty against animals, those animals can be seized from them, confiscated from them. This was the law provided for. But the Supreme Court says that that is not proper law, and Supreme Court repealed, asked the government to repeal law permitting seizure of livestock. The bench led by the Chief Justice of India warned the government that it would stay, the court will stay the implementation of 2017 law. This law was passed in 2017, which allowed authorities to seize cattle on a mere suspicion that they suffered cruel treatment at the hands of their owners or were being primed for slaughter. So a mere suspicion was enough to seize the animals, that the guilt was not to be proven in a court of law. A mere suspicion itself was enough as per the law. Look how the law got stretched. A mere suspicion was enough to seize the animals. The crime charge need not be proved. That is what the Supreme Court has pointed out. These animals, the law prescribes, would then be lodged in gaushalas as case property to evade the court's verdict. Look, before the case is proven, the charge is proven in the court, the guilt is proven in the court, the assets will be seized and the person will be deprived of his livelihood. That in itself is the bigger cruelty than the cruelty to the animal. So that is what the Supreme Court has said. Supreme Court said why the law cannot be repealed. So the Supreme Court said that the government will repeal, government has to repeal the law as it is not constitutional, and it is plainly contrary to section 29 of Prevention of Cruelty of Animals Act, under which only a person convicted of cruelty can lose his animals. Listen, that is what the Supreme Court says. It is not the violation of fundamental rights as I mistakenly pointed out. It is against section 29 of Prevention of Cruelty Act. This section of the Prevention of Cruelty Act says that under this only a person convicted of cruelty against animals can lose the animal. But here the 2017 law says that the person who has taken custody of the animal, who is protecting the animal, if he does any cruelty to the animal, immediately on the mere suspicion that he has committed some cruelty to the animals can be seized and kept in goshalas as case subjects, as case property. Court says that is not possible. Guilt has to be proven before action can be taken. Assange extradition to US rejected by UK court. Julian Assange is the former editor of founder of WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks seems to have or the charge was that WikiLeaks leaked classified data which was from the United States of America, and he was charged by the American government and to face espionage charges, finding that he was, the court said that he cannot be extradited. Presently he is in UK, he cannot be extradited to America because he may commit suicide. That's what the UK court said. So anyway, it is a great relief to Julian Assange. He considers himself to be a whistleblower. Who is a whistleblower? Anybody who believes that certain wrong things are happening somewhere, and a whistleblower is the one who blows it out. He believes that he is a whistleblower, but the government of the United States of America has charged him with espionage. So presently he is in UK, and he successfully filed an extradition claim by the United States. The court said that he cannot be extradited to United States of America. Black and grey. This is something that I discussed yesterday briefly about FATF, Financial Action Task Force. FATF is a baby of the group of 7 rich nations. FATF, if any country becomes its grey list or blacklist, those countries will not be given any financial assistance. Pakistan is under the grey list of FATF for promoting terrorism and money laundering. So any country which is in the grey list or blacklist of FATF will not be given financial assistance. Pakistan is currently under its grey list, and this list will be revised or reviewed in February 2021. So Pakistan is doing something, some damage control measures by arresting Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, the LAT operations commander who was linked with the 2008 Mumbai attacks. India has been asking the arrest of this person for long. Pakistan has not been doing that, but as a face saving measure or as a damage control measure, Pakistan has arrested Zakir Rahman Lakhvi, the Lashkar-e-Taiba operations commander, who was the mastermind, one of the masterminds of connected with the Bombay terrorist attack in 2008. So Pakistan hopes that with the arrest it will be able to move out of the grey list so that it can receive donations from G7 countries. FATF has been working as a useful instrument to prevent money laundering and connected terrorism activities. So read, I have briefly told you in the previous newspaper analysis of ours, we discussed it in detail. Maximum governor. Look, the constitutional position of the governor is that he is the center's representative to the state, and he is not the de facto authority, he is only a nominal authority. But if you go by the actions of the Kerala governor of the past few instances, it looks as if he has been aggrandizing authority which actually is not vested with him, granted to him by the constitution. The constitutional position is that the governor is only a representative of the state, is only nominal authority. The real authority is definitely the chief minister and his cabinet. The Supreme Court has on many occasions said that the President of India is also a nominal authority. The President does not have eyes and ears on his own, he sees and hears through the eyes and ears of the Union Cabinet. Similarly, the gubernatorial position is also similar. The gubernatorial position is also similar, that the governor sees and hears through the eyes and ears of the state cabinet. He cannot, except on very few instances, act against the will of the cabinet. But recently, when the state cabinet requested him to convene an immediate meeting of the state legislature to lodge a protest against the 3 laws passed by the parliament on agriculture, against which farmers are protesting, he said, what is the need? He asked what was the need of an immediate convening of meeting. The governor asked, and governor said he didn't find any reason why the state legislature must be convened that immediately. So this was questioned widely, and many constitutional pundits clearly said that the governor overstepped his authority. This was widely criticized by the Hindu editorial also. The article says that the governor is not designed for maximum, it is designed for the minimum. Governor should not exceed constitutional duties to serve as agents of the center, explicitly says the Hindu. Please read. Hasty approval, no transparency. This is one of the criticism against the use of or the decision by the government to come out with the vaccination program. Of course, we know that we have to attain normalcy very fast, and the economy has to be back on track, so that we can move back to the days of growth. We cannot make the life stand still. Vaccination is one of the major hope that societies keep on sorry, but a large scale vaccination program cannot be the result of a hasty approval with no transparency, says the article. So there are concerns, but the government clearly says that it has followed all the procedures for the implementation of vaccine. Yes, that could be true, government may have the confidence, but you should always know the other side of the story. But if you take the history of virus infections in the world of humanity, the first virus infection was reported in the 4th century, and the last one before this COVID, of course there were a few Nipah, etc., etc. The major epidemic kind of an infection was the Spanish flu of 1918. It took almost 15 years for the vaccine, a proper vaccine, to be approved and used against Spanish flu. That was in 1933. So if you go by the history of virus infection, it is very clear that the remedy that the mankind found, invented to prevent virus infection has not been vaccination, but the remedy has been, in this case for sure, social vaccination, keeping social distancing, sanitizing, etc., etc. Anyway, please read the article. You should know we trust our government, and the government is very confident that we can successfully do this vaccination program and reduce the so-called the health hazards which the virus infection may give us. Google asked to take down 280 loan application. There have been a lot of news items in the recent times that under the guise of plenty of mobile applications have been launched and uploaded in the Play Store. They are loan application apps, loan disbursal applications, and they have been cheating people. So the government has asked to take down 280 loan apps from the Google Play Store. The first question is given, the armed forces of which one of the following countries will participate in the Republic Day Parade of 2021 in their combat dress during the march past? Very important question. This can be a sure shot. Give me your answer quickly. Rose has given me the answer, Gokul, both have given 1, Anjana has given it as 5, Vishnu says it is Bangladesh. Okay, a few more responses. Is it Great Britain, USA, Afghanistan, Nepal, or any other country? Yes, I move on to give you the answer. The answer is Bangladesh. None of these. Bangladesh Army in its uniform will participate in the 2021 Republic Day Parade in Delhi. Bangladesh Armed Forces will participate in the parade. This coincides with the 50th anniversary celebrations of the 1971 Liberation War of Bangladesh. So this particular participation coincides with the 50th anniversary celebrations of the 1971 Liberation War of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is celebrating its golden jubilee as an independent nation. Very important, this is a sure shot for the exam. 122 Bangladesh soldiers to march on Republic Day Parade. Yes, this coincides with the 50th anniversary celebrations of the 1971 Liberation War of Bangladesh. We know that India helped Bangladesh get its independence from Pakistan. After 1947, Bangladesh was called as Eastern Pakistan, a part of the Pakistan sovereign. So it was a real headache to India all the time. So in 1971, India supported the independence movement in Bangladesh, and through the war of 1971, Bangladesh got liberated. Question number 2. Jack Ma is the founder and CEO of which major Chinese company? Don't ask me to pronounce all the names, very difficult. Kreicho Moutai, William J. Yibinco, Hawaii, Alibaba and Sinopec. Name the company. Yes, many people say the choice is 4 correct. A very famous personality, Alibaba is the Alibaba is the answer. Jack Ma is the founder and CEO of Alibaba. Jack Ma is reportedly missing. Jack Ma is reportedly missing. He was off late, meaning he was recently critical of the Chinese government. The 37 billion IPO, this is something that we discussed in previous days. The 37 billion IPO, initial public offerings of Ant Group FinTech. Ant Group is a Alibaba company, was suspended by the Chinese regulator. So the 37 billion Ant Group IPO, the biggest IPO of the world ever, this was suspended by the Chinese authorities, and Jack Ma criticized the regulator. So there was some sore moments for Alibaba, Jack Ma, and the Chinese government is known for taking very tough actions. Chinese government, it is suspected that even his life is under threat. So Jack Ma, one of the most popular celebrity businessman of the world, is missing. He has not been participating in any of the events, public events, for the past few days. And Jack Ma, we do not know whether his life is also under threat. Listen, I think he has been told to lay low. That could be true. I think he has been told to lay low, meaning you have to keep a low profile. There could be a strong diktat given by the Chinese authorities to Jack Ma to keep a low profile. Could be true, we do not know. This is a pretty unique situation, more linked to the sheer scale of Ant and the sensitivities of our financial regulation. So we have to closely watch, the business world is closely watching what is happening to Alibaba and Jack Ma. Question number 3, which of the following countries is the biggest exporter of rice in the world? The biggest exporter of rice in the world. Which country exports maximum rice? Yes, let the responses come. Yes, it is true. India is the biggest exporter of rice in the world. So what it shows that not everything is bad in Indian agriculture. If there is something bad in Indian agriculture, that has to be rectified. So you cannot throw the babe with the tub water. That is why the farmers are striking. Farmers believe that things are very much okay, but of course there are certain anomalies which are to be rectified, but they do not trust the new laws. So the second biggest exporter, I think it is Thailand, and third one is Vietnam. The biggest exporter, third is Vietnam, and the second I think it is either Thailand or USA. Of course both the countries export a lot of rice, but I think the order is India, Thailand and Vietnam. We may check. Fourth question, which country has decided to export rice from India for the first time in many decades? This question we discussed earlier a few days ago, I remember. Which country has decided to export rice from India for the first time in many decades? What's your answer? Which country? Okay, the answers have started coming. Which country has decided to export rice from India for the first time in many decades? The answer is correct, it is Vietnam. Vietnam has decided to import rice from India. In 2020, India exported 14 million tons of rice. In 2020, India exported 14 million tons of rice. Indian exports are very attractive price wise. That is why Vietnam has decided Indian rice is very attractive price wise. That is why the Vietnam has decided to import rice from India, and this is happening after many decades. Vietnam buys Indian rice for the first time in decades. The world's third biggest exporter of rice, Vietnam, has started buying the grain from rival India for the first time in decades after local prices jumped to their highest in 9 years amid limited domestic supplies, industry officials of Reuters say. So told the Reuters. So very good, very important, please read. Faceless tax scheme delivers 24,000 final orders, says the Finance Secretary. This was introduced by the government in 2020. It was announced during the 2020 budget. Faceless scheme, tax scheme means if there is a tax dispute, a tax notice given by the income tax department to any person, the taxpayer need not go to any authorities, but it will be done through faceless measures, meaning it will be done using the computer system, the network system, the artificial intelligence, etc., will be combined, and it is working very well, says the Finance Secretary. Number of orders shows system has stabilized. Yes, this was a new system, and just after its implementation came the pandemic, but this is working well, says the Finance Secretary. The government's faceless tax assessment system, an attempt to remove individual tax officials' discretion. Yes, that's it. Discretion of officials can be taken out, removed, and potential harassment of income tax payers has managed to deliver about 24,000 final orders since its introduction in August 2020. Okay, that is what the Finance Secretary claims. Please read. Appeals will be faceless, meaning the taxpayer need not go to any particular official. When personal intervention takes place, there could be potential harassment, and that can also be avoided with such situation. So India has to become more taxpayer friendly. Fifth question, which one of the following financial institutions from India is set to raise 1 billion through US bonds? Yes, you have got 15 seconds and the time is up. Which one of the following financial institutions from India is set to raise $1 billion US through US bonds? Is it SBI? Is it Exim Bank? Is it IDBI? Is it NABARD? Is it ICICI Bank? Okay, let more answers come. Yes, most of you gave me the correct answer. It is the Export Import Bank of India, the Exim Bank. It is from the US money market that Exim Bank is raising 1 billion USD. Very important question for your exams too. Exim Bank says to raise 1 billion via US bonds. The Exim Bank is in the international market, bond market, with more than $1 billion money issue, merchant bankers have said. The bank is in the dollar money market with a 7-year bond issue, selling Reg bonds, Reg S bonds worth at least 1 billion. The issue will be closed in the US markets on Monday, two merchant bankers told. Okay, so within a short span of time, the Exim Bank plans to mobilize $1 billion US from the US money market. Question number 6. Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal has surpassed the legendary Pelé to become the second highest goal scorer with 758 career goals. Name the highest goal scorer of all time. Who is the highest goal scorer of all time according to FIFA? Okay, choices 3 and 4 are given by my students. The answer is the third option, Joseph Bacon, Austrian Czech legend, who according to FIFA netted 805 goals between 1932 and 35. Between 1932-35, Joseph Bacon, Austrian Czech football legend, scored 805 goals, and who according to FIFA is the highest goal scorer, official goal scorer. Okay, so what's our answer? Joseph Bacon. Ronaldo goes past Pelé. Cristiano Ronaldo has surpassed Brazilian legend Pelé to become the second highest goal scorer on Sunday. Ronaldo now sits second behind Austrian Czech legend. Please take note. Austrian Czech legend Joseph Bacon, who according to FIFA netted 805 goals, official goals, between 1932 and 1955. I think I wrote it wrongly. 1932 and 35 is wrong. 1932 and 1955 he netted 805 goals. Thank you very much for watching the program. I believe I am engaging you reasonably well. I will learn more on the job and will come out with greater contribution. I am sure that you are also enjoying. I take it for granted that you enjoy. I take it for granted that you read the newspapers. Tomorrow we shall discuss January 6 Hindu. Make sure that you read the newspaper, spend quality 2 hours, try to understand, keep your diary of events, and then if you watch the program you will get the real benefit of things. At 3 o'clock we shall again come out with another live session, probably of math, English or reasoning. Thank you very much. Please post your positive comments against this program in our YouTube channel. That will be a great encouragement to my team and I. Thank you very much.